Let's see. Good afternoon, Anton.
What's going on?
Okay, so
Can you hear me
as you
good?
know, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me good?
Yes, we're good. So as you know, lately with everything that's been going on within the YouTube space, the drama online, offline, and things like that. Why is it when it comes to these panels that you're on, you act like this towards women? You have a daughter, you have a wife. Would you want someone speaking to them like this?
What did I say that was disrespectful to the clip that you just said,
This
that you
clip,
just
there are
showed?
so many other panels. There are so many other panels. You're calling women 304s, hoes, monkeys, black women are the black man's biggest enemies. I thought the whole purpose of these panels were to bring us further together, to work together, to find a solution. But it seems like with these panels that I see you in a lot, you're creating more of a divide. And
I
that's
think
not the
that you need to look
content.
at.
That's not the
I
content
think you
that I
need to
got
look
from
at the
you originally.
context. I think you need to look at the context of the entire conversation before you make that. Before you draw that
No, no, I
conclusion,
don't. No, I don't.
because
No, I don't.
well, you
You
gonna
want
let
to
me
know
you
why I
gonna let me
don't?
finish talking?
I don't.
Do you want to have a conversation or do you want to debate? Because I thought this.
That's because he fixing a lie. He knows he disrespectful towards black women. He's always disrespectful towards black women.
Was a conversation.
There's no
A
debate. You can get.
conversation is I'm listening to you speak, and then when you ask me a question, you got to let me answer it fully. No,
I'm listening.
so what I'm saying is, I think you need to look at the context of the entire conversation. You can't do what you want to do as an individual, and then think that you don't get the same energy. For example, the clip that you just showed, I was talking, and then I was rudely interrupted. After on my own panel, I waited until they got done speaking, and then I started to give what it is that I said. Now, if you actually look at my show, afterwards, she admitted that she was wrong and she was moving a certain type of way, and she actually publicly apologized because actually that woman that I had got into it with, Queen Sheba, I've defended her. And you can ask her specifically. I defended her against a lot of people that was actually coming against her, a lot of men individually. And you can actually ask her to cam up. That in came for her, that in literally was trying to dox her, that was trying to abuse her. And specifically, I worked with her and her husband to ensure that she was safe. And I went against the guy that was trying to go against her. Now, on an individual level, on that particular video that you just showed, she admitted that she was disrespectful and she tried.
She's not talking about that particular video. She's talking about all the countless panels this man's been on, disrespecting, saying disparaging things about black women and black people in general. He's totally off point.
To stop me from saying what I was saying after I was having a conversation. So my thing is, if you're going to have the same energy, then have it across the board, because I'm not saying that I'm 100% right all of the time. And when I believe that I'm wrong, I apologize. But at the same time, you can't say that I was wrong on that when her herself came up to my show the next day on the Millionaire Morning Show and apologized for being disrespectful because her intentions was bad from the outset. So you can't tell me that I'm wrong when we got grown women that come on the panel looking to disrespect us, and then at the same time you don't hold them accountable, but you're only looking at me.
Anton, we're talking about your language and your behavior.
What did I say that was disrespectful? I didn't call her out of her
We're
name.
not we're not just talking about Sheba.
Oh,
We're
okay.
not,
So it's other things. I thought
because
we
you
was
put
okay.
her.
I
No, no,
mean, we could
no.
talk about all of it, but I was
I
just
mean,
referencing the
one,
specific
no, no,
clip that
no.
you
One
played.
woman, you called her a hoe. You called her a 304. You called her a
Who?
monkey. You said her
You gotta
stretch
be specific. You gotta be
country
specific.
something. I don't know her name like that. Country something.
Okay, but what did she call me before I even said that?
She didn't call you anything.
You sure about that?
I'm very sure. I didn't see
As
her
a matter
call
of
you
fact,
anything.
I can send it to you. She literally said before she ever came on the panel when I discovered it. See, y'all don't see what goes on in the background.
No,
These people
no.
are
Anton, you do this thing where you
I'm
try to
telling
play
you that
good guy, bad guy. You try to play the
Listen.
good guy, bad guy role, and that's just bullshit. You try to play this good guy, bad guy role, and then you do these weird things to try to cover up the bad thing that you did.
She's 100% right. He's a habitual liar. He's just trying to lie his way out of it. He never does anything wrong. Let him tell it. And he's always got someone's best interest at heart. He's always protecting somebody. He's full of it.
You're good.
Yanie,
The bad.
I will send you
bad,
the video.
No, the good that you do does not. It doesn't outweigh the good that you do.
That's fair. And I'm willing to take that criticism. And I'm willing to be held accountable. One thing that I say regularly is that I'm open to being criticized and held accountable in the same way that everybody else is. I said,
So why do
I don't
you
always
act
get
like
it.
this
I don't know.
panels?
I don't always get it right. But at the same time, I identify bad energy and I deal with it accordingly. So for example, the country girl, she literally set up and she said it and she posted it on our Instagram and you can go and check it. I don't even know if it's still there. She said that she was coming on a panel to set me up and that was her whole goal, and literally to try to take me down and to take down everything that I've built specifically. So when I see this type of stuff or people send it to me and they say, yo fam, this is what her whole goal is. She didn't come up there with good intentions in the first place. I'm gonna deal with it accordingly. I'm not just gonna let shit ride just because they're a woman. A woman can be just as spiteful and just as mischievous as a guy can. And just because they come in sheep's clothing don't mean that they're not coming up there with a specific agenda. And they do often at times they do. And just because I don't say it right then and there, don't mean that that's not what the goal is. And if you want me to send you the videos and the evidence, I can do that too.
Anton, you're a businessman, right?
That's correct.
Okay. How is this professional? You have every right to not bring her on. If that was her point,
I didn't bring her on.
No. If that was her point to set you up and you knew that, why would you engage?
Right. What sense does that make? To bring someone on your platform that could sabotage you, that any moment, if they out to get you, all it takes is for them to pull out their cell phone and show nudity to the camera and your platform is instantly taken down. Why would you take that risk?
And be
But see, that's the thing.
You have to think about it. You have to think about it from a professional standpoint. You made money off of disrespecting her and discarding her in the way that you did, correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, so how are you innocent in this situation? You're not.
I didn't say I was innocent.
Okay.
I didn't say I was innocent.
So what's the point of defending your behavior? What I wanted to hear was, my bad, I messed up. I shouldn't be speaking to women like that, period.
Because he don't feel that way. He has no respect for black women.
No. I've messed up before, but I didn't mess up with them. That woman that you just called, the woman that you use as an example, the clip that you just played, and the woman that you used as an example, those are not the ones that I messed up on. I have messed up before, and I have apologized publicly for the ones that I messed up before. And I'm even open to being held. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
No, you
yes,
haven't.
I have.
Because if you would have apologized in the way that you needed to, people wouldn't be turning away from you right now. And I don't even know the situations
who's turning away from me?
People. The original group of women that were on the panel originally, they don't even want to work with you guys no more.
I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that.
You don't see your fault. You don't see your fault. There's literally a trail of women. There's a trail of women that are leading behind because you don't know how to treat them.
It's a trail trail of toxic women, but then there's also a trail
So everybody's
of
toxic. So
women
everybody's toxic but
behind too.
Aton. Everybody's toxic but Aton.
No. Let's talk about Lucky. Let's talk about Island Girl Q. Let's talk about a lot of different women that I've actually put on. I've actually put a lot of money. You wouldn't even know some of these women that's making a lot of money.
No. Why is the common denominator in all of these women Aton?
It's because Aton has feminine energy. He ran Kayla off. He ran Kay off. He ran Courtney off. That is what he do. He runs the women off with his female tendency. He's emotional. He gets caught up in the moment. He don't think like a real man.
Why? Because I brought out the toxicity in them? Because I showed them for who they really were? See, the thing that I'm observing right now,
like I said, you play this good guy, bad guy.
Oh, absolutely,
role.
I do.
Okay, you instigate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the point? Like I said, ladies, stop going on the show. Please, just stop. He telling you exactly what he gonna do. He gonna play that good guy, bad guy role. He's gonna instigate. He's gonna trigger you. He's gonna get to know you, know your personal life, know your personal details, and then he gonna bring you onto the panel, and he's gonna trigger those issues, your trauma, and weaponize it against you so that he can get paid on his platform. He just told you what he's gonna do. That's exactly what he's gonna do. So
that's right. That's exactly right. He just said it out of his mouth. Man, that is crazy. But he don't have no smoke for that racist Amira who came up on his show. He had no smoke for her or Miss Pearly things that he's adamantly defending.
Aton, I have a question too. Why should I not speak on your wife?
Why should I add some additional context really quickly?
Why should I not speak on your wife?
First of all, I'm not even on the panels anymore. Like, if you knew, if you actually watch, because apparently you're not aware of the different apologies
8 days ago. This video was 8 days ago.
Ma'am, that is a clip. If you look at the last 3 Lapeef panels, and even that panel, I actually only showed up for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I dropped back down. I'm not on the show anymore.
Change your behavior. I don't understand. Why don't you just change your behavior?
Hold on, ma'am. Can I add a little bit of context? Secondly, I'm not the person that picks the panel members. Me and JR has long separated responsibilities, and I'm the person that just shows up in order to have the conversations, and then I handle a lot of the back end stuff, right? I don't recruit, I don't pick panel members as.
She's not talking about the panel. She's talking about your disrespect. Your insensitivity. This is what she's talking about. Your total disregard for the females on the panel. She's not talking about who picks the panels. We don't care about that. We care about how you treat the women when they come on the panel.
As a matter of fact, I've long said that I have no clue who was going to show up on Thursday nights and who wasn't. But I'm not. I'm not even on the panel anymore anyway, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
I just don't understand why I needed that context. It just doesn't make sense. Just change your behavior. Would you? This is my thing. You have a daughter, right? What? Like you have a daughter.
Why haven't you held any of the women responsible for the stuff that they did when they initiated this conversation in the first place? How come you don't hold women accountable and got the same energy for them as you got for me?
If there was something that I saw in these clips, then I would make it about them. But I'm making it about you because in every single clip,
but I didn't disrespect Queen Sheba, and
you're aggressive. You try to speak over people. You won't allow them to get their point across in full. But then you want that respect in return. You're very disrespectful.
The clip you just showed, you glossed over it when she admitted that she was disrespectful.
You can gaslight me all day, but there was a live stream that I just posted yesterday that had other clips of you being very disrespectful.
Cool. And I'm willing to take accountability for that. I didn't see your live stream yesterday.
This man takes accountability for nothing. You can watch all of his videos, anything he's associated with. He never accepts responsibility for anything he does or say. He'll defend himself if the earth is cracking in half, the moon is falling, the sun is starting to dim out. He will still lie.
Anton, I just have one last question.
I'm willing to take accountability for the things that I do.
I just have one last question. Why should I not speak on your wife?
Because she don't have nothing to do with this.
She has a lot to do with it.
My
She's
wife
a black woman.
has
She has
nothing to do
everything
with
to
it
do with it.
whatsoever.
She has everything to do with
My
it.
wife
As soon as
is
you
not
said,
my wife.
no. As soon as you said that the black woman is the bigger enemy than the white man, that's when your wife became a part of this.
That's right. He also said in an interview with Charleston White that all women were hoes. Now he want to exclude his wife and his daughter from that statement.
That's when your daughter.
So that's when you include my wife.
That's when your daughter became a part of this. So you can either hold that or not, but that's what came out of your mouth. That's what came out of your mouth. That's what you said. So you will include
my 15-year. You willing to include my 15-year-old daughter on the internet?
No, she's
in
not
order
in
to try
video.
to justify your logic and your point.
No, I just put a picture next to what you said. I put a picture to what you said. I didn't speak on your child.
You just said that's when my daughter became a part of it.
I did not speak on your child. All I did was put a photo with your audio.
You just said it.
That is it. That's what you decided. That is what you decided to do, right? And you thought you was the big man at the time. And so now you have to eat that. You decided to say that. I put a photo next to it. That's all I did. That's all I did.
You put a photo of what? I'm sorry,
of you and your wife after you said that the black woman is the biggest enemy of the black man, but yet you're married to a black woman with a black daughter. That is what she's saying. She is saying that you discredit your wife and your daughter when you make a bold statement like that. I think you fully understand what she's saying, and you know there's no way out of it. If you are a man who prides himself on accountability, then take that L. She got you dead to rights.
Broke up.
I put a photo next to the words.
You were breaking up as I was driving. I
put a word. All I did was put a photo next to what you said. That's it. Of your daughter and your wife. That was a choice that you decided to make. So that's what I'm saying. Like you try to play this. No. You try to play this good guy, bad guy role, right? You decided to put your family on the internet. Then you decided to also play the bad guy role and say, you know what, guys? And you're talking to a group of men. You're talking to an audience of men, as if your daughter is not going to go out here and have to deal with those same men that you're talking to in the way that you're talking to them. And then you're telling them,
she won't.
You're telling them, oh, the black woman is a bigger enemy than the white man. That's what you decided.
No, I didn't say that. You misquoted me. I said the black woman has been a bigger.
I did not misquote you.
You
Don't
did.
Do that.
Don't
do that. Don't do that.
You did. I said the black woman has been a bigger enemy to black men than white people.
No, you said the white man.
Because
you said the white man. You did not say
white men. Okay, white men. But I said has been a bigger enemy to black men than white men.
No,
specifically,
you said
and
R.
that is true.
You said R. A-R-E. You said R.
And I stand on that.
Okay.
How crazy does that sound? So basically, he's saying his mother, his wife, his daughter, his aunts, his grandmother, all of them are a bigger enemy to black people than white people who have implemented systemic racism against the very people that he loves. Now, how twisted is this man's mind? He suffers from self-hate and a short man complex as he stands 5'3", fat, out of shape, and insecure.
So then why is your daughter and your wife off limits?
Off limits to you having a conversation about them?
We are black women. You can't separate them from the collective.
I do. I separate black women all the time. I'll
You
give you an
cannot
example.
separate black women from the collective.
I'll give you an example.
You cannot
I'll
make
give
a
you an example.
generalized, no, you cannot make a generalized statement like that and then try to separate your daughter and your wife from that generalized statement. You are
Oh
aware
no,
of
I
that, right?
separate a lot of women from it. Like for
That's not
example,
what you decided to do when you said what you
like
said.
for example,
You made a statement that included your wife and your daughter.
oh no, it's always anomalies. It's always going to be an anomaly. Like one of the anomalies that I believe in is Crimson Cure. I had Crimson Cure here. I treated her like gold. I had her in the best hotels. I made sure that she had a driver. We loved on her. We treated her. We never allowed for her to even pull her wallet out. I think that Crimson Cure quite possibly could be one of the most beautiful souls and an example that black women should look up to. As a matter of fact, I did an interview with her. I had her on a panel. We exalted her. We praised her. But I'm sure that y'all missed all that part too, right? Because in the same...
And I'm pretty sure Crimson Cure don't agree that black women are the biggest enemy of black men. And I also am sure that Crimson Cure don't agree that all black women are hoes.
Same way that you want to acknowledge the stuff that we hold women accountable for, you should also acknowledge the stuff that we give women credit for also. And so I'm gonna hold that too.
Again,
right?
your poor treatment does not make up for your good treatment.
No, you need to hold accountable to women and what they say.
Your poor treatment that you tend to give women, right? And then you turn around and you gift them with this, you gift them with that, you do this. It does not make up for what you did before.
I'm not making up for. I'm not making up for nothing.
Like every time no. Every time I mention something about holding you accountable when it comes to your behavior, then you go into, but I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and I
want you to keep the same energy on both sides.
She's absolutely right. He has all the characteristic traits of a woman beater, an abuser. He'll pummel the woman, and then afterwards he'll say, "Oh, I love you. It'll never happen again." That is exactly what he do. He has all the woman-hating traits of a woman beater.
Don't just paint it one way. I want you to keep the same energy on both sides.
I'm looking at the bigger picture.
I said that I'm willing to be held accountable.
It doesn't
but I'm saying though, when you hold people accountable, you also give credit for the good and you give credit for the bad. You paint the whole picture. You can't just say it on one way because you creating a narrative, right? I don't pick and choose who comes on the panel, right? There's plenty of women that I've had on the panel that I've never gotten into it with, right? But then you only pay attention to the things that bothers or triggers you, regardless of whether or not the woman did something to warrant it or not. And sometimes I may be wrong as a result of it. And I'll own that shit. I'll own being wrong when I'm wrong. But at the same time, all I'm saying is,
not one time. You have not owned it. Not one time.
I said I'll be accountable for the things that I'm wrong about.
No, you have not owned it.
The two examples that you use.
You have not owned it. Not one time throughout this entire life.
The two examples that you use.
Anton, why do I have to raise my voice at you? Why? Why would you raise your voice at me? Just so I can get out what I need to say. That's why women don't need to go on the panel. This is why they need to stay off the Lapeef Network.
That's their choice. I don't have a problem with them choosing not to.
You have a big problem with them not choosing to come on your panel, because if they didn't, you wouldn't make no money. So how fake is that? You need to stop. And real men don't argue with women. We just have normal conversation. If you a solid man, the woman will listen to what you have to say. It's not always back and forth. With this guy, it's always argument, disagreement. It's always a battle with women. Something wrong with this guy.
The problem if a woman decides that she don't want to come on the panel, that is up to her. I have no problem with that. I'm not telling you that you should tell women to go on the panel. You can feel however you want to feel. That's your right. That's cool. The only thing that I'm asking of you is to remove my wife from this live stream. That's it. You can say, listen, you can call me a demon. You can call me a devil.
Why should I do that?
You can call me whatever it is that you want to call me.
Why should I do that?
But the only thing that I'm asking you to do
Why should I do that?
is to
Can you
remove my
please
wife
explain to
from
me why should I do
this
that?
whole conversation.
Why should I do
Because
that?
she's not a part of this conversation.
She is. You made her a part of this. You want to know why? Your
No, you're
behavior and
making
how
her a
you've
part of
been
it.
online treating Black women. So she is
You're
a
making her
part
a
of
part
this.
of it.
She
My
is
wife is
a part
living
of
in
this.
bliss. She's phenomenal. My wife is great. She's in a great space.
She is a part of this. She is.
Oh, he thought he was going to come up on this platform and just straight tell Yanie what to do because he's upset that his wife is on that thumbnail. You don't hold no weight here. This is a strong Black woman. She don't fall for your weakness.
So is that a no?
Her a part of this.
So is that a no?
It is. It's
Is it a
definitely
no?
a no. Why should I do that?
That's fair. Okay, cool.
She is a part of this. You made her a part of this.
Okay. I got you. That's
So
cool.
you're not going to own anything.
What would you like for me to own, Yanie?
You called a woman a monkey. You called her a woman. You called this woman a monkey. You talked about her stretch marks. You called Black women bitches and hoes.
Look at him. He don't want to accept none of that responsibility, but he wouldn't like his daughter or his wife being mistreated, just like he don't like his wife being on that thumbnail. But it's okay for you to just come on them panels and disrespect them women day in and day out. This is what he does. And now he's upset that she put his wife on blast.
You want me to own calling Black women bitches and hoes and calling her a monkey? Is that what you're saying?
That's what you did.
Yeah, absolutely. I own that. I absolutely did.
Okay, so then you know why I'm doing this then, right?
Okay. I mean, that's your choice. You said that you was going to do it. I'm not going to beg you. You do what you feel you need to do.
So that's it.
What else would you want me to say?
You're not going to apologize for the disrespect. You're not going to do you're not going to own that what you were doing out here.
When she apologizes for what she tried to do.
She didn't do anything. She didn't do anything to you.
Yes, she did. And more importantly, I offered to send you the evidence. You're not trying to hear that. You don't care about that. You caping for your audience and you're not being real.
I'm not.
Like you was caping for just pearly things when she said slavery was embellished, when she said Black people exaggerated the treatment of slaves. Oh, you caped for her, huh? She's caping for Black women because you called them bitches, whores, and monkeys on a worldwide platform. Okay, who's caping?
I'm not caping.
You don't want to see the other side of it.
I don't want to see the evidence. No. I don't need nobody. You can't even come on.
You don't want to see the evidence.
What they was doing, saying I'm capable. You don't know me like that.
You don't want to see the evidence because you don't want to be real. You're not interested in seeing what her agenda was from the beginning.
What does that have to do with your behavior?
I have a hard
What does that have to do with your behavior, though?
It has a lot to do with it. Because
no,
if you came up there, with an agenda to sabotage,
you could have kicked her off and kept it moving.
You telling me? Wait. So are you telling me that it doesn't matter what she was doing behind the scenes? The only thing that matters is what I said to her.
She didn't do anything to you, Aton.
How do you know, Yanie? You don't even want to hear it.
So you're saying that all of these women are just coming on the panel.
No, you said specifically about that woman that I said that she had stretch marks and all of that shit.
No, she didn't. She said it about 20 times that you keep disrespecting women on the panel unprovoked on a lot of streams, not that one incident. You understand clearly what she's saying. Your whole reason for coming on today was to get her to take the picture down. Once you realize she's not going to take the picture down, you really want to end the conversation. He's done. His only purpose was to come on there and get that picture taken down. He has no respect for Yanie or any Black woman, not even his wife. He fancies himself a benevolent dictator of his household and says he will never get divorced no matter what. What do you think if his wife went to leave? What do you think he's willing to do?
You said specifically.
So can you explain to me how she set you up? Can you explain to me how she set you up?
I just told you. She literally had an agenda when she first came on. She recorded it on Instagram, and I literally had people sending it to me during the show that was happening, and that she was looking for the last 2 weeks to get up on the panel. JR didn't ask her to come. She asked to come to the panel. She sent us a request in order to get there. She knew who I was. She had been studying me for weeks, and her whole agenda was to take me down, and then she threatened me afterwards. And you don't care nothing about that, huh?
I mean, the way you spoke to her, I can see why she may have done that.
Oh,
But
okay.
her saying Lamborghini, that set you off? Really? That was
No,
her setting. That was her setting you
I
up.
told her she wasn't no Lamborghini. That's all I said.
Okay,
And
but
then it
how
went
does that set
crazy.
you off to go off like you did, though?
Okay, listen.
That is because this man hates women.
I apologize for calling her a monkey and for stretch marks. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have did that. I apologize.
He don't mean that. He don't mean that at all. And she know he don't mean it.
I could have handled that better. Genuinely, I could have handled that better.
So this is my next question. Moving forward with the Lapeef show, right? How do you plan on, or how do you guys plan on treating women as guests on the panel?
I'm not on the panel anymore.
That's not what I'm asking. I know.
But it's your show. You are in control. You own the network. You're acting like you bear no responsibility or have no control. How phony.
You run things behind the scenes. I know that.
I don't run anything behind the scenes. That's what I keep trying to tell you. We separate
That's not what I was
responsibilities.
told. That's not what I was told.
I don't pick a subject. I don't pick the person that come on a panel. I don't pick anything.
But if you see the show going in a negative direction and people are starting to complain and your subscriber count hasn't moved in years, wouldn't a smart businessman say, hey, something's wrong. We need to make a change here?
If you want to have a conversation with JR about that, then you can have a conversation with JR, because I don't tell him how to do his job. I separate responsibilities, and I just handle the technical aspect of things, like I told you in the very beginning of the live stream.
And you want us to believe that this man is a multi-millionaire?
I don't do any of that. I don't even know who's coming on the panel when I come on the panel. That's a fact.
Okay. That's
Is it
really
anything
all
else
I
you
wanted.
feel like you need to have a
All I wanted
conversation?
was for you to. I just want you to apologize to Black women for being disrespectful. That's all.
No, I apologize for what you held me accountable for. I'm willing to take responsibility for when I'm wrong. And when you say that I was off on that,
let's be clear on what that is for a sec. You called Black women bitches and hoes. Okay.
I think that there are some. Thank you, baby.
You called.
But here's the difference. Here's the difference. And let me give you the context. I'm sorry. No. Here's the context. I think that there's a difference between Black women and a bitch. And I think that there's a difference between a nigga and a Black man. All Black women is not bitches, and all bitches is not Black women.
And there's a difference between Black men and Black bitch ass men. And you just happen to be a Black bitch ass man.
But you do understand your audience though, right?
Say what?
You do understand your audience though, right?
No, I understand.
His audience is just like him. He fully understands his audience. That's why they tune in.
Saying the truth.
Because the other day you got upset because some man called your wife.
Go ahead and then go to the left.
Some man called your wife a bitch, and you got upset about that.
Yeah, and I addressed it with him directly.
Okay, but why did he feel comfortable calling your wife a bitch though?
Well, he only said that he said it to get back at me. He didn't say it because that's how she was acting. He never met her. He never talked to her. He never had a conversation with her.
That's my point, is that you're influencing,
and I'm not calling all Black women
men to speak to women in that way. You're influencing men to speak to Black women in that way.
Just like you said, all women are hoes. You don't know all women. So how can you make such a statement? Just like you said, this man don't know your wife. You don't know all black women.
No, I'm
That's
influencing
why he
men.
felt so comfortable calling your wife a bitch.
And what did I say? What did I say to him?
It don't matter. You're still
It does matter.
influencing men to
It doesn't matter. You're not getting the point, or you don't want to get the point.
speak to women in that way.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
You may
that I
not be
think that no.
intentionally doing it, but you
Listen,
are doing it. It's
y'all
me
wanna-
bringing the awareness to your attention. That's it.
No.
It's like, listen, if you're on a platform, your audience are a group of males, and you're using that type of language towards women, you are influencing them to speak to women in that way.
No, I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you
Yes,
why.
that is why
I'ma
you
tell
got.
I'm gonna tell.
This man's wife, in a post that he put out, said that he argues to the point where he blacks out. That's how angry he get. So can you imagine what he's subjecting his wife to while he's sitting here trying to defend this woman and verbally abuse her at the same time?
Tell you why I disagree, because you can't advocate for equal. You can't advocate for jumping on these panels, saying what some of y'all want to say to men, and then not getting the same type of energy back that a man would get if another man said it to him.
I haven't seen any of these women call you guys out your name or do any weird stuff like that.
Well, then you haven't watched enough, because
I've
seen some
seen all
egregious
I've
shit being
seen
said.
is a woman say something that you don't like, that sets you off, it triggers you, and then you go into this full-blown rant and you start calling people out their name. That's what I've seen.
Oh no, I've been called out of my name by plenty of women.
Why haven't I seen
absolutely
it?
have.
I haven't seen it not one time. I've seen so many different panels. I've sat through so many different live streams. We're talking about not just the clips. We're talking about the 3-hour live streams. I have not seen that.
Well, like I said, I've been called out of my name plenty of times. And so when people meet me with respect, I meet them with respect. And it's the same thing for men. See, I don't discriminate, I don't separate it. And I keep the same energy when a man do it. I'm an equal accountability partner. And so when a man move a certain type of way, I got that same smoke for him as I have for women.
No, you don't. You got to get pushed really hard before you respond to a man. Case in point, Logic called you a bitch nigga about 10 times before you responded on one of your episodes. So don't sit there and say you equal accountability. No, you're not. Because soon as a woman say one thing that you deem unacceptable, you go off into a rage. You turn green.
It's the same thing. I don't differentiate it. And everybody know that there's been plenty of guys that we didn't got into it in the same way as the same way that I done got into it with women.
Why do the men on the panel feel like they can't apologize publicly to the women? They have to do it behind the scenes.
I just did.
No. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other men that are on the panel. Why do they feel like they can't publicly apologize to these women? They have to do it behind the scenes.
Because they insecure and they weak and they worrying about what another man thinks of them. They cowards.
I can't police what everybody else do. I only police my own behavior. I'm only willing to be accountable for my own behavior. I can't tell you why everybody else.
No, it's just simply they witnessed you doing that, but they didn't feel comfortable enough to defend those women. They didn't feel comfortable enough to speak up and say, hey, don't talk to her like that.
Oh,
why do they have to do it behind the scenes?
Some have before. There's been plenty of guys that didn't check me on the panel and off the panel.
All right, Aton. It was nice speaking to you. At this point, it's the public's opinion at this point.
Say what?
It's the public's opinion at this point. I'm
what
still going to move forward.
I ain't looking at no chat. I don't know what nobody else saying. I'm talking to you.
I understand that. But again, like I said, I brought attention to the treatment that's going on the Lapeef network. I don't like what's going on over there. It's very disrespectful. Women are not being treated in the way that I feel they should be treated. And it's just really that simple. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you for coming up here. And
well, wait, I got a question for you.
What's the question?
Are you going to remove my wife out of this conversation?
Hell no.
Why should I do that? Why should I do that?
You literally said that why should you do it based off of the fact that I don't take accountability? I took accountability and you still ain't doing it.
No.
See, that was his only reason for popping up. He had no interest in what she was talking about or what her issues was. His number one goal to come up on that show was to get that picture taken down. That is it. He don't care nothing about those women.
I think the only reason why you even apologize half-ass is because you want me to remove your wife.
No, I'm not apologizing for that. I'm apologizing based off of the fact that you made a point that I felt like could possibly be right, and so I'm
gonna be real with you, Aton. I don't think your apology was genuine. I don't. I think it was manipulated. I think it was manipulated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that was it. I just think it was manipulative. I'm not buying your apology. It's just to save your ass for the time being, and then next week you're gonna be the bad guy again. That's what I think.
I'm not even.
He's the bad guy now.
On the panel anymore, anyways. But regardless,
it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. You do these recaps, and then you create a recap the next day, and you still talk about these women, though.
Listen, I guess.
So why should I not talk about your wife? Why should I not talk about your wife when you get to talk about all of these different women and disrespect them? I'm not even doing this live to disrespect your wife. That's not why I created this.
I ain't talking about the disrespect. I'm talking about removing her name, period. But
no. But you get to sit up and disrespect people. You get to disrespect women, and then your wife is supposed to be off limits. That's not how it works.
No, listen. You are more than willing to do exactly what you want to do. Okay. All I'm saying is it was a polite request. I don't know if I've ever even had a conversation with you specifically before.
It wasn't a polite request. It was disrespectful because you came on this woman's platform with the intentions of getting that picture taken down and had no interest in speaking with this woman. That was your only purpose for coming on that show. So stop it.
But if you choose not to, that's cool. I'm all for that. I'm with it.
All right. You have a nice day.
You too, babe.